Friday night took care of my weekday blues. I woke up, had breakfast, and read the news. I'm feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. But I feel like there's something I'm forgetting to do.
Hey, Toby, the show's about to start.
Oh yeah, it's a Saturday show. 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 It's a Saturday show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday Show, AADL TV's one and only Saturday morning variety show. My name is Toby, and I'm Otto. And today we're talking about all things Ann Arbor. Oh boy, I am so excited. I am too, bud. We got a lot of great segments about A2 for you today. Well, Toby, what are we going to do? Well, Otto, I know you like history, and I know you like geography, but I didn't want to stick to the facts. You know, Ann Arbor was founded in 1824 by two guys, that kind of thing. So then, what are we going to do? Well, Otto, one of my favorite things to do on road trips or when I'm just traveling is to look at a city and figure out why it's there. What do you mean? Well, every city has a story. There's always a reason why that city is in that particular place. I don't know if I'm following you. Well, why don't you go with me? We'll go for a little ride. We're going to hit the city, and I'm going to show you what I think are the three main reasons why Ann Arbor is where it is, why it stayed where it was founded, and why it grew to such a big city that it is today. Okay, as long as we're going on a road trip. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned, folks. We'll start with Word of the Day, and we'll catch up with you later.
Hey, Kashi, how you doing today?
I'm great. I was just doing a little dance.
Really?
I don't know. It just I feel like a snake.
That's quite a dance.
Hey, do you know, today we're talking about our favorite places in Ann Arbor.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, what's your favorite place in Ann Arbor, Kashi?
Well, you know, I love water. So I love lakes and I love the Huron River.
Wow, that's great. The river sure is beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
It's got so much wildlife and it's just lovely.
Yeah, and you can go down in a boat.
That's right. You know, I was thinking about it. I think my favorite place might just be the library. I love all of our library branches. They're all unique and really fun.
I do too.
Shall we see what Lexi's favorite place is in town?
Sure.
All right. Well, what does it say?
Well, it says Endover, but I never heard of that in Ann Arbor.
Do you know what?
What?
Kashi, I think that the cube on campus is actually called Endover.
Wait, that big square cube that you can push it and it goes around in a circle?
It almost looks like a Rubik's Cube standing on its point.
And it has a name?
It does.
Wow.
And you know, there's another cube that's very similar to it in New York City.
Oh, wow.
It's by the same sculptor.
Wow.
Well, listen, are you ready for the summer game code?
I am.
How long do you think we're going to keep calling it the summer game code?
Oh, I don't know. It's not really the summer anymore, is it?
Let's keep calling it that as long as possible.
Okay.
Here are your clues. It's 9 letters.
Okay.
All right. This word that you're looking for has part of our town name in it.
So part of Ann or Arbor. Okay.
That's right. And it means a garden of trees
Okay.
All right. And last, it's named for the Nichols family.
Okay, wait. So it's a place in Ann Arbor that has the word Ann or Arbor and all those other clues.
That's right. Well, if you think you know the answer, you can go to play.aadl.org for big points.
Okay.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, what is this place? Why are we here? All right, Otto. To understand why Ann Arbor is where it is, we're starting here in Ypsilanti. Ypsilanti? Yep, Ypsilanti. We're on this small patch of grass, and this is the site of one of the first settlements in Washtenaw County, Woodruff's Grove. Yep, it was here from 1823 to 1827. Only 4 years? Why'd they move so quickly? That's a good question, Otto. And in this case, it's because just upriver, near where Michigan Avenue and the Huron River meet today, there was more settlements, including Native American Potawatomi tribe settlements. If you look just beyond this factory here, it's the Huron River, and that's going to be a big clue as to why Ann Arbor is where it is. The river, huh? Now, Otto, do you have any guesses as to why the river is really important?
Well, rivers are always really important to me so I can swim and eat.
Well, that's actually a pretty good guess. Eating is one of the reasons why people settled near rivers. It was really easy to trade resources because the river was like a water highway where you could move goods from one place to another. All right, Otto, so here we are. We're in the Water Street area of Ypsilanti, and this area is really important to the founding of Washtenaw County.
Why is that?
Well, for one, in this area, we have definite evidence of a Native American settlement. In fact, in the early 1900s, when they were developing this area, they uncovered several Native American burial sites.
Oh, wow.
Yep, it was important. And remember we talked about Woodruff's Grove?
Yeah, we were just there.
Well, one of the reasons Woodruff's Grove was only around for a short time was because there was more activity here on the Huron than a couple miles downstream.
Oh, so where there's more people and activity is where a village or city is more likely to grow?
That's right, Otto.
Well, the river is just beautiful.
All right, Otto, so we're going to keep heading west along Michigan Avenue, which, remember, is an old Native American trail, and we're going to go right into downtown Ann Arbor to see why it is where it is.
Hello, welcome to What Is It? We are entering my dark, messy garage to find this thing hidden here that has a long, flat surface called the face, a rectangular part called the table, and a long, curved, sharp horn. This thing has been in my family for many, many years, and it weighs over 300 pounds. What is it?
Here is our town from way up high on top of the parking structure. You can see they got this metal here to help keep people safe because we're up pretty high. But you can also see lots of cool buildings. There's the post office. There is the bell tower. That's the tallest building. There's the downtown library. And there goes a bus. Hi library, hi bus. And then over here, you can see some churches. There's a funeral home. Lots of trees. Way in the back, there's the stadium. There's some construction going down here that's pretty exciting. I love being able to see the city from a different perspective.
Good morning. Welcome to my neighborhood. Behind me is the really big tree, but I don't want to go down too closely because I see somebody sitting under it reading so peacefully and I really don't want to disturb them. So all I can suggest is that you come to Wooster Park on the Old West Side and come and see the really big tree because I think you'll like it. I have to say this is one of my favorite parks because this is where I brought my kids when they were little. If you like ice cream, then you've probably been to the Washtenaw Dairy, and this is a very popular place in my neighborhood. I'm at Argus Farm Stop here on the Old West Side, and this is a great place just to pop into to grab whatever ingredients you're gonna need for that really interesting recipe that you're whipping up tonight. I've walked a few blocks from Argus Farm Stop, and now I'm at the corner of West Jefferson and 4th. And this is a really unique kind of corner because there's a lot going on here in this part of our neighborhood. You can see behind me there's a cute little church that's just snuggled in there amongst the houses. And then if I swing around here on the other corner, you're going to see Baugh Elementary, which is the neighborhood school here. And then I'm going to step across the street, and this is Jefferson Market. I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. And Jefferson Market is pretty much known for coffee and breakfast. Look, there goes a little kitty cat running across the street. So I'm back now from my little walk around my neighborhood, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and maybe you'll get to go out in your neighborhood and do a little video of all the things you like about it. Have a great day. Bye.
All right, Otto, so here we are on the Huron River in Ann Arbor, and I'm choosing this as my #1 reason why the 2 founding men of Ann Arbor chose to settle in this particular area. The river? Yep, we talked about it already a little bit, bud, but what I'm thinking is that this spot on the Huron River was far enough away from Ypsilanti that there wasn't too much competition for business, but it was also close to a number of Native American villages. So they saw the value in this land, and when the 2 Ann Arbor settlers came here, they also found the value in the land, as well as willing trading partners.
Oh, I see. Their goal was to make some money and set up a city. And what better place than right here on the river where they could travel and send goods up and down.
Yep, that's right, bud. The Huron River goes all the way out to the Detroit River.
Oh, wow, that's a long river.
Yep, and it was great for commerce and trade.
Okay, so this is what you think is the #1 reason why Ann Arbor is where it's at.
Yep, that's #1. Ready to find out what #2 is? All right, Otto, here we are on the wrong side of the tracks.
What do you mean by that?
No, it was just a joke, pal. We're here at the Amtrak station near downtown Ann Arbor, and this is reason #2 why Ann Arbor grew as a city and why it is where it is.
The railroad?
Yep, remember we talked about how the Huron River was important for trading and travel. Well, just 15 years after Ann Arbor was founded, the Michigan Central Railroad reached Ann Arbor.
Well, so what?
Well, the thing about that is it allowed more reliable and easier transportation of goods.
And people?
Yep, and people, bud. So this is reason #2 why Ann Arbor is where it is and why it stayed where it was founded.
This is called an anvil. It's a steel-faced iron block for hammering metal. Anvils are very, very old. Prehistoric humans used anvils made of stone. This part, called the face, is for pounding. The horn is used to hammer curves into the object. This is the little table for cutting. When my grandfather was a blacksmith in Russia, he made many things out of metal for the villagers. He would get the metal very hot and pound on it to make shovels, blades for axes, horseshoes, cooking utensils, and more. My father used the anvil to make metal art, but sometimes he just pounded it for fun. You can find out all about blacksmith techniques at the library.
Hi everybody, this is Molly. I just wanted to share with you one of my favorite places in Ann Arbor. This is the Mitchell Scarlet Woods. One of the entrances to the woods is located behind Mitchell Elementary and Scarlet Middle School, located off of Lorraine and Platte Road. I love to go for walks on the trail in the morning. There is a beautiful canopy of trees to look up at. Moss and ground cover plants cover fallen branches and tree trunks. One of my favorite trees to visit has mushrooms growing up its trunk. You can learn more about the Mitchell Scarlet Woods and neighboring nature area by visiting the City of Ann Arbor Parks and Recreation website. Thanks for joining me.
Show you guys something really cool I found. This is the John Allen Journal. It's a really old school news journal from 1961 made by the 6th grade class at John Allen School, which is now Allen Elementary. My grandparents kept this because my dad had a joke in it that he'd written, and I'll read that to you. But the other thing I want to tell you about that this made me think of is our archives. You might not know that the Ann Arbor District Library has an archives, and that means that we have a place where we keep old newspapers and photos, and there are people who work there who scan everything and put it online so that anybody can read it from anywhere in the whole world. So I'm going to take you on a little tour there. My friend Elizabeth is going to show us how she puts something up online. But before we do that, I'll read you this joke. What's big and red and eats rocks? A big red rock eater. All right, let's go over to the archives. So before we go see Elizabeth, I'm going to show you some rooms in the archive. This room is called the cold room. Whew, it is very chilly. It's almost like a refrigerator in here. But instead of being filled with food, it's filled with photos and photo negatives. And these have to stay at a low temperature to keep them safe. Ooh, brr. These drawers have newspaper articles that have been cut out and put into those envelopes. Look at how many drawers there are. Lots of information.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and I work out in the archives.
Elizabeth scans an old newspaper. What's on it? Oh, Otto, can you move? Please, thank you. Once she's gotten it cropped and straightened, she creates a page on the website where the article will live. Finally, she adds tags to the article that will help readers find other articles about the same event or people. Let's go see how it looks online. All right, here is old news, the archives page. Look at all this. You can see all these different papers. These are different features. I think we should search for something. I want to search for a picture of a dog because I love dogs. Ooh, look. This is from 1955, even older than that newspaper I found. And here's a kid surrounded by dogs putting on some roller skates. Thanks, archives.
All right, Otto, so we've talked about the river, we've talked about the railroad, and the third reason why Ann Arbor is where it is, according to me, is the University of Michigan. In 1837, 20 years after its founding in Detroit, University of Michigan moved to Ann Arbor. Yeah, what's so significant about that? Well, once it moved, it attracted a lot of people, students, teachers, all the related people who are working on the campus and things like that. Oh yeah? Yeah, so can't you see how that would be a big thing for the city of Ann Arbor to be where it's at? Yeah, I guess so. Yep, those are my 3 reasons why Ann Arbor is where it is. I'm sure others could come up with some different ideas, but I like where I'm at.
Did you know that Ann Arbor has sister cities? Since 1965, Ann Arbor has established 7 sister city relationships. But what is a sister city? Sister cities are cities all around the world who partner with each other to promote human contact and cultural links. The Sister City program in Ann Arbor was started by the local chapter of People to People, an organization that grew out of a 1956 White House conference where President Eisenhower suggested, "Not among nations, but among people are the true seeds of lasting peace sown." Typically, when one city visits the other, the 2 exchange gifts and the hosting city gives tours of local landmarks and areas of interest. Sometimes there are receptions or ceremonial events, such as ribbon cutting, plaque dedications, or tree planting ceremonies. Ann Arbor gained its first sister city in 1965 when the official charter of the partnership with Tübingen, Germany was presented to City Council. Tübingen and Ann Arbor were said to be very similar, as both are university towns with medical centers and prominently featured rivers. Throughout the years, Tübingen has remained one of our most active sister city relationships. Although the details have changed somewhat, Ann Arbor Public Schools has hosted an exchange program with the city of Tübingen every other year since 1987. In 2015, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of our sister city relationship with Tübingen. In 1967, the state of Michigan asked British Honduras, which is now called Belize, to be their first sister state. Shortly after, Ann Arbor asked Belize City to become our second sister city. Belize City was chosen because it was very different from Ann Arbor, and the 2 cities enjoyed sending small delegations back and forth for visits. After 5 Ann Arborites attended a conference in Belize City the following year, they noticed that Belize City was in need of supplies. So a few months later, the state of Michigan sent a convoy of 6 trucks to Belize City filled with contributions from across the state, including furniture, books, and medical equipment. Return visits included their National Director of Libraries in 1969 and a steel band in 1973. And in 1975, the relationship was memorialized with the creation of Belize Park at the corner of Fountain and Summit in Ann Arbor. However, there hasn't been an official visit with Belize City since their mayor checked out Ann Arbor's recycling program in 1999. In 1969, the state of Michigan asked the Shiga Prefecture in Japan to become Michigan's second sister state. Shortly after, the city of Hakone became Ann Arbor's 3rd sister city. Ann Arbor and Hakone have enjoyed a long-lasting sister city relationship, with official delegations as well as student ambassadors visiting continuously since 1970. The city of Hakone and Ann Arbor Public Schools continue to host the Hakone Exchange Student Ambassador Program, where Japanese student ambassadors visit Ann Arbor annually, and Ann Arbor student ambassadors visit Hakone every 2 years. Last year, in 2019, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of our sister state relationship, with events at the library featuring Hakonyan, who is Hakone's mascot, as well as a cherry tree planting ceremony at Cobblestone Farms. In 1983, Ann Arbor added a 4th sister city, Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. The exchange was centered on yearly athletic contest called the Arbor Games. It was described as a cultural exchange and friendship through athletics. The partnership was inspired by Doug Walker, then head of the Ann Arbor Recreation Department, who suggested the cities set up a Junior Olympics-type exchange. At its height, the Arbor Games brought 6 or 7 busloads of middle school students to Ontario to compete in soccer, baseball, track, volleyball, and basketball, followed by a return delegation from Peterborough the following year. Participants stayed in the homes of the opposing team and enjoyed a big party after the games. However, as more opportunities to play sports opened up in Ann Arbor, interest waned, and the last Arbor Games was in 2003. In 1986, voters approved Jigalpa, Nicaragua as Ann Arbor's 5th sister city. Soon, a 17-member delegation of officials and representatives from Ann Arbor visited, bringing with them 25 boxes of gifts, which were mostly medical and educational supplies. When they asked what else the city would like, the mayor suggested a small garbage truck. After doing the necessary fundraising to buy one, 3 members of the original delegation drove it to Nicaragua. It was a 2-week trip, and the 3 members took turns, with 2 members in the cab driving and navigating, and 1 member in the back, communicating on a walkie-talkie that they had borrowed for one of the members' kids. There were a few later delegations, but interest fizzled out in the 1990s. In 1997, Dakar, Senegal became the 6th sister city. The partnership with Dakar was suggested by Richard Ross, who got the idea while visiting a niece who worked for an ambassador in the West African country. That October, an official delegation, which included Dakar's mayor, visited Ann Arbor, and the local Senegalese community sponsored a reception in the group's honor. While in Ann Arbor, the delegation observed Ann Arbor's educational systems, economic development, and environmental protection. An attempt to organize a return visit failed when Ross couldn't raise enough money. The connection to Dakar, Senegal began and ended with that single visit in 1997. More recently, in 2003, City Council approved Remedios, Cuba as a sister city. Although the U.S. federal government prohibited travel to Cuba, the city attorney assured them that it was legal and mentioned that 17 other American cities have Cuban sister cities. However, after the one article in the newspaper, it was not mentioned again. Relying on volunteers means that sister city relationships ebb and flow depending on people's changing interests and commitments, especially if the sister city also has limited resources. As former Mayor Ingrid Sheldon explained, it's really people to people. It takes people to keep things going. However, with more interest and support, our relationships with all of our sister cities could flourish once again.
All right, folks, well, that's it for today's episode of The Saturday Show. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you'd like more resources, you can go to our webpage, aadl.org/The Saturday Show. And if you'd like to write in to Otto or I, you can email us at tss@aadl.org. Until next time, bye!